It's just that work is taking and life is not giving.
Wow, that's yeah, I'm just, thinking about like you said, working in service, right? Is we
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of giving, but I think
Mm-hmm.
like, I will say this. I'll briefly say, right? This is, talk about this, and then it's like all the emotion about it, right? But when I lost
Mm-hmm.
my mom in September, which was it was just happened, I
Mm-hmm.
get people saying like, how are you taking care of yourself? Like what's helping you? Like, like
Mm-hmm.
even in the loss of your mom, like you still show up as it's a support system, right? So I think
Mm-hmm.
that too is critically important in life, period, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
work or the loss of a loved one or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I think like I would say like if you're thinking or now learning or feeling that I may be on the verge of or at burnout, then what's the support like is, who's there? What's your,
Mm-hmm.
coping mechanism, a healthy one, right? That
Mm-hmm.
allows you
Right.
to, and here is what is so important, have safe spaces to be vulnerable and say or do all the things, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're better, right? I think
Right.
it's like in life, I think a part of like when we're feeling like, oh my God, I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Like, who are you
Mm-hmm.
saying that to? Who are you talking to? Where are you leaning in for support? Because
Right.
at some point, this can overtake you. Like if you
Absolutely.
just burn out, and you're just trying to like we like to say like push through. No, 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 don't push through. Sit down. Get get somewhere and be
Right.
still. Right, right. Like, don't
Right.
push through another thing. And I
No.
think it's first though. I think it's first being honest with yourself about
Yes.
what and how you are feeling. What do you think about that?
I think that that is perfect. Being
Mm-hmm.
honest with yourself is
Mm-hmm.
the first step. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I always would go around and tell people, that used to be my thing when I would work too much
Mm-hmm.
and all of this. And I would just always tell people, I'm Superman. People ask all the time, like, you don't get tired, you don't do this, you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'd work, I'd be at the gym at 5 in the morning. I'm seeing this many clients during the day
Mm-hmm.
for, the company I was working with, then working at the
Mm-hmm.
private practice,
Mm-hmm.
then still cooking, going back to the gym. People ask
Mm-hmm.
all the time, like, how are you doing it? And my response was, I'm Superman. And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until, somebody said, but you're not. And I had to
But
really
you're
sit
not.
and think. It's like, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
you're
I
not.
can stop doing all these things. And the biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing, the biggest way to deal with those boundaries, one, like you said, having support, being able to
Yeah.
first talk to yourself and have,
Yep.
that conversation with yourself saying, I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. And
Then
that's okay.
having that support, and that is
That's
okay. That
okay.
is
Yes.
exactly, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Having
Mm-hmm.
that support, but then setting boundaries, good old
Ooh. Ooh,
boundaries.
that's a good one.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard that's a hard one. Okay, yeah,
That's a
let's talk
hard one.
about it.
But we
Okay,
gotta
setting
set the
boundaries.
boundaries,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong
Mm-hmm.
with, and I think a lot of people are scared to do this, but there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with going to your superior, your boss, anybody and just saying, you know what? I don't think that I can do that right now. Not in a negative way, but just saying, I just
Oh.
maybe I need more time. Maybe, somebody else is a better fit for it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it may be. And just saying, I can't, because like I'm thinking about myself, in working in
Mm-hmm.
mental health. There'll be times where, I'm probably not the best equipped, to work with a certain client who has like a certain issue. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I am a male, I'm a man. And when
Mm-hmm.
women are coming to me about postpartum, I look,
God, yep, yep,
I
yep, yep.
can't,
Not
I can't
don't
hold a
know. Don't
candle.
know. Right,
No,
right, right,
no,
right,
you know,
right,
no. But
right,
instead of setting the boundary and saying, you know what, here's a recommendation, here's the other
right.
person you can talk to, I'm not the best fit. What do? I take
Mhm.
more upon myself to research and make sure that I'm better at it. Which, kudos to me for wanting to be the best mental health provider I can be. But at the
Mhm.
same time, that's putting more work on myself. And because
Mhm.
I'm putting more work on myself, I'm getting more exhausted. And what happens? I end up not being the best person for that person in the long run.
Sure. Yeah.
You
No.
know,
Absolutely. Yeah. I
so
mean, I
setting
like
that boundary,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
I
setting the
like that.
boundary, I think is good. Releasing expectations, I think helps as well. Letting go, not all of them, but some of those expectations, let them go. You know,
That's a
Everything's
big
not going to work
one.
out the way we want it to go anyway. So let some of
Yeah,
those things
that's
go.
those expectations is a big one because I think
Hmm.
sometimes it's not even real. It's like
Right.
perceived. Like nobody even said that. Like
Right.
you just feel that it nobody even said you needed to do that. You're just taking
Right.
on something that nobody even said that. What are you talking about? So
What
I
are you
think that that is
talking about?
I think that that's a big one, but I think that also comes from our individual backgrounds and experiences
Hmm.
and our trauma, right?
Yep.
That we don't talk about. And then we
Right.
carry all of this and we think that people are saying things that nobody said that.
Right.
Nobody said that. You just feel that from somewhere else, but nobody
Hmm.
even asked you to do that. And you're
Exactly.
feeling all these things that are perceived and internal. That's a big one.
Mm.
Hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think another thing, is it may be difficult to do when you are burned out, but actually making active time to rest. I had to
I like it.
convince myself that rest is doing something. A lot of us, I think we equate that if I'm resting, I'm not doing nothing.
I like it.
No, rest is you're actively doing something when you're resting. You are taking care of your mental, you're taking care of your physical, taking care of your emotional. You gotta rest. Say no, set that boundary, say no, say there's nothing wrong with saying I can't, and then rest.
Yeah, I
Rest.
like the rest. I had I still I'm gonna say have, but I've had some amazing business coaching, and
Hmm.
one of them in particular, I'm going to shout him out: Joshua Smith, apostle, prophet, doctor, all the things.
All the
Joshua Smith.
things.
No, I love, and I want to shout him out on purpose on this podcast because one of
Love
the
it.
things that he teaches in his coaching is that rest is necessary. He says rest is holy. Like it's a you
Mm.
have to rest in order to do the things. So when you
Hmm.
were talking about the mental and like your body and your mind requires rest like water, like you can't not
Hmm.
rest or your body goes and your mind goes into like a spiral. And I don't think we realize that when we're
Goes into
like
burnout.
work, no sleep, like that
Hmm.
is dangerous because in
Mm.
order for me to work and come up with all the amazing things for you, right, I have
Mm.
to rest. I have to
Gotta
not just
rest.
and we can distinguish sleep and rest. These are two
Hmm.
different things.
Very different
So,
things.
yeah, rest is necessary in order
Hmm.
to be able to show up and do all the things that you love doing. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And rest it definitely helps with the burnout. But with burnout, one thing to remember too is that it's not going to be fixed by a weekend or a
No.
vacation.
Mm-mm.
Burnout is fixed by a choice. It is fixed by a
Choose
choice. You
rest.
have you have to choose rest. You have to
Choose
choose
rest.
wellness. You
Choose
have to
well.
change it.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
gotta choose something differently. Like that one little weekend and that little vacation, like that's great. But then what happens? You come back and you're right back into what you were leaving. You have to
Hmm.
make some different life choices in order to avoid that burnout. And sometimes I was talking to a client not too long ago about this, but sometimes that choice that you have to make is saying, this job is bigger than me. It's taking so
Ooh.
much from me that I don't think that I can continue to do this.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that burnout gets you to a point of recognizing, you know what, this isn't for me. I got to do something differently.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's more than just the physical, this particular client that I was talking to, it gotten to the point where it was more just in the physical exhaustion. It was just
Mm-hmm.
mentally just draining, disturbing. I'm talking there's
Mm-hmm.
tears at the thought of going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Not worth it. Not
Not
worth. I know we
worth
need
it.
money, we gotta survive and things like that. But again, it's talking to that same client about this. I feel like the older I get, the more, my goals, all my goals just stem to just being happy. And I know that
Yes.
I have to work and I have to get money and I have bills to pay and taxes and all of that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I just want to be happy.
I just want to
And
be
if there's
happy.
anything
Yeah.
that's stopping me from doing that, and I'm so thankful that the work that I do does bring me joy. It does
Yeah.
make me happy.
Yeah.
But there's so many jobs that I no longer do because they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And making that choice is sometimes hard, but
Hmm.
definitely necessary. right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I say, like, right now, today, like, this job market is challenging, right?
Hmm.
If you're looking for, certain salary ranges and you need certain experiences in education or whatever, the market
Hmm.
is different from what it was even I would say, yeah, maybe five, years
Hmm.
ago. But
Absolutely.
choosing yourself,
Hmm.
like you said, like driving up to work in tears, that's a lot.
It's a
That's
lot.
a lot. Like,
Belinda, there was this one job I worked to, and I would get to the job and I had to clock in at I think like probably 8. I would get
mhm,
there around like 7:45, 7:50. I
mhm.
would park in the parking lot and put my car seat all the way back to the point that I'm laying down just so that nobody could see me.
That makes me
And I would
sad.
go in the last minute. And then once I get in, I would go to my office. I would turn all the lights off and hide under the desk
This
like a
makes me
kid.
sad. This
Isn't
makes
that
me so
horrible?
sad. Well, it's
And it wasn't
sad
until I
because
finally
it's,
got to the point
yeah.
that said, why?
Why?
Why am I
What?
putting myself through this? What am I doing? Like, I'm a grown man hiding under this desk. Like, I could just quit. And I
I could
did.
just quit.
I
So,
tell clients that all the time. They're like, I hate my job. I don't want to be there, whatever. And I say, quit.
and they
They're
say
like,
I
no, I
can't.
can't.
I
And I say, you
know.
won't. It's
Yeah.
different. You won't.
So let's
You
talk
won't.
about it. How much time we got?
Let's
Let's talk.
talk.
We got like a minute. I don't know where the time goes. Like, we might have to put a pin here, but that though, right? Like, to your point, I got
Mhm.
bills, I got taxes, I got mortgage or rent, I have children, and you have to be responsible. But
Right.
my question becomes, are you even looking? And even if, here is the thing,
Hmm.
even if you had to sacrifice and take something not quite what you're looking for, or not quite where you want to be, if it's going to bring you peace and happiness, and you're
Hmm.
going to be better for those in in your home, like, could you
Hmm.
even think about that? Right? I mean, I know we all want to make a quarter of a million. I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that
Not mad
salary
at
at all.
all.
Like, we've talked about this, right? But
Yes.
if it's a matter of peace and joy and happiness, could I settle for a little bit less than that if I could just be happy?
If I could just be happy.
Andrew, I wish we had more time. We're going to have to pick up here next time. But
This was
God, this is
great.
so good.
This is good.
I
Well,
hate
we
that
might
we
have
have
to
to go. I hate that
revisit
we
this
have to
one.
go. We got to put a pin
Right.
here and pick this up next time. Yeah, yeah. So let's tell everybody how to reach out to us, and we're, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. As always, we would love to hear from you guys. If there's any topics you would like for us to discuss, you can email us at info@betterworkplacewellness.com.
Hmm.
You can check out our website www.betterworkplacewellness.com. On
Hmm.
there, you'll have our podcast episodes.
Yep.
We're working on getting the shop together so you guys can buy some
Yes.
merch. You can
Yes.
learn a little bit about us as well. Um, you can also find every episode of the podcast. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple. We are on Spotify. Just type in Workplace Wellness Matters. You
Yep.
can also find us on our individual social media pages on Instagram and Facebook. Andrew Watley and Belinda Fly. And yes, I think that's all of them.
I think that's it. Well, I hate to close, but it's that time.
It's that time. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
One more time. Absolutely.
One more
One
time.
more time.
All
Yeah.
right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. And
Yeah.
remember that wellness is a choice.
Choose to be well. Until next time, guys, be safe. See you
Bye.
later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Workplace Wellness Matters podcast, made possible by our sponsors and co-produced by Odell Vickers Jr. We'd love to hear from you. If you would like to become a sponsor or have topic ideas, please email us at info at betterworkplacewellness.com. Join us every Monday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, streaming on Facebook and Instagram, replaying on Spotify and YouTube. Until next time, remember, wellness is a choice, and we want you to choose to be well.